Hello, hi everyone, welcome. Today's video is the first video of my Use What You Have series. I have a whole series coming out this year. Each month we're focusing on a different product. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can either watch the video before this one or just dive into this whenever floats your boat. So today is all about inks, and we're gonna do a whole bunch of different inking techniques. Some of them is just one ink color. So go grab your inks. Watch this video. We're gonna make a whole bunch of different backgrounds using inking techniques. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna make 3 cards out of some of those backgrounds that we make in the video today. So are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get to it. Okie dokie. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just your basic ink blending. Using Catherine Puller inks, found some garbage, cleaned off my brush, and now we're working. The key to ink blending is always, you know this, I know, working off the paper on in circular motions. Now, to get really good at ink blending, you gotta know what kind of pressure to use, okay? I'm using very light pressure and I'm getting this kind of whimsical feel. And now we're just gonna speed it up because this is like watching paint dry. But you're doing circular motions working off the paper on, and you're getting this beautiful like cloud kind of ink blended look. Now there's a way to make it stronger. I'm going to show you what that means in just a minute, but just working off the paper on in circular motions and praying your arm doesn't hurt by the time you're done, you can get a beautiful scene like this where it looks like a beautiful purple cloud, right? But if you want it to be a little bit more saturated and more smooth, just go in and press really hard, still in circular motions, but I am pressing super duper duper hard, and then you'll get a more saturated look. See, look at this. See the difference? On the right, super hard and more blended. On the left, super light and cloud-like, if you will. So we're gonna set that aside and we're gonna do a little bit more inking here. And we're still gonna use purple, but don't worry, I do change the colors up a little bit just because nobody wants to see the same purple in every single technique, but we're just gonna roll with it. Let's add a little water. So this is watercolor cardstock. We're gonna do a little ink smooshing, okay? All you got to do is press the ink onto your mat, plastic plate, work surface, misty tool, anything you've got. Add a little water and do a little pressing. If you missed it, don't worry, I'm going to show it again. Spray your inked up blob with some water and press some watercolor cardstock into it. Rub in circular motions and get this really cool look. The less water you use, the more ink will transfer. So in this instance, I am going to use a lot of water. And when that happens, you kind of don't get as much of a detail, right? It's kind of just like a big watercolor blob with a drip mark. And if that's what you like, that's okay. You can roll with it. Or you can add a little more ink and try to press it and 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 press it. And then you'll get this kind of look. This actually dries really pretty. Don't be tempted to blot off all those marks. Just leave it there and see how it dries, okay? And you might be pleasantly surprised. I actually will use that background in a finished card. Just a heads up, because I actually did like it as it dried. So you got to see how your paint dries before you decide whether or not you like it or not. Okay, let's move on to another color because I'm tired of purple. We're going to go in with Bellini. You can just take your pad and just kind of swink it, which is my made up word, ink swiping. Made up word. I like made up words. And just kind of just swink it all over and you can make yourself a beautiful background just like that. Takes 5 seconds. Now, you can also make your own colored cardstock by really swinking on the ink. Get it on there thick. Now, I just realized that Catherine Puller has just released some colored cardstock. I don't have any, I don't want to buy any, so I'm going to continue to do this, but you can make your own colored cardstock. Or you can just tip, 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 just the tip of your ink pad, and you can get yourself a little design like that, right? So from one ink pad, about 30 seconds, you got 3 backgrounds. Boom. Now, I'm going to go back to this ink blended one, and I'm going to show you, because I'm using Catherine Puller inks, which are water reactive inks. Most inks are. I can spray a little mist of water, just a little mist, and you get this beautiful, subtle, like little raindrops, but very little. You want bigger drops, add bigger petals to your hand, and just flick it on there, and you can get bigger water droplets. And it's very cool to watch the water move on the paper to give you those big water droplets. Just keep adding. This is a really good technique to do if you don't really like your ink blended background. Don't trash it. Just add some water droplets to it, okay? So that's pretty, right? You can do something super fun with that. You can also take a paintbrush. I don't have a cup of water, so I'm just going to spray some water on my work surface and really get some water flicks. Check that out. It's like you're looking through a window of purple raindrops. Isn't that cool? Okay, this is watercolor cardstock, and I'm going to show you how you can watercolor with these inks. This is Flirty Fuchsia, just moving on to another color so we don't get bored, got to keep it fresh. Adding a little water to my paintbrush, or use, a cup of water, and watch how saturated. Look at this. Look at this beautiful, this watercolor. We just made watercolor right here on the fly on the video. Just want to show you how saturated it can be. Oh, it's so pretty. So I'm using watercolor cardstock because I'm using a lot of water. So if you're going to use a lot of water, watercolor cardstock's key, right? Just, you don't need to go buy expensive kind. Just cheap watercolor cardstock is fine. You can also do little flicks with the end of your paintbrush and just create little stripes. You can use different colors if you want to. It's completely up to you. But you can, look at this. These backgrounds, we're just like bam, 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 wham, bam, thank you, wham. But look how saturated that color is. That is beautiful. It went right through the cardstock. We made our own watercolor, folks. We made our own watercolor. And again, you can add different colors to really jazz it up. You can keep it monochromatic, add different colors, do the rainbow, whatever you want to do with your inks is fun. That's it. Watercolor paint right here, or watercolor ink rather. You got it. Look at that. What are you gonna do with those backgrounds? I don't know. We'll do something later in the video, but these are two very graffiti-ish art kind of backgrounds here, which I think is fun. I've got all this ink on the paper, on the glass mat there. So I'm going to take some watercolor cardstock. I added another deeper purple, and I'm just going to do some ink smooshing here. This is not a new technique. I did it at the beginning of the video, but I had it all down on that mat and I didn't want to waste it. So smushity smush, 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 baby. And we'll see what that looks like when it dries. You got to make for it to dry. Clean that up. And now we're going to move on to another thing, which is just basically using the same ink, but repeat stamping it so you can get some dimension in your stamped image. So I'm going to use my Misty stamping tool. This is a stamp from the 10 stamps. It's a rubber stamp, so I can take out the mat inside the Misty. And then I'll go ahead and work with this one. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to use one color. And I think it's time that we pull out a lot of people's favorite colors of the Catherine Puller ink, which is Aquatini. It's time to pull that out. Now, I had kept my hands clean until I brought out Aquatini, but that's okay. It's worth it. I'm going to ink it up like normal. No big deal here. Go ahead and stamp it, press it. You need some kind of stamping positioner probably to get this technique to add some dimension. Now, you can go in and add different colors here. That's the wonderful thing about having a stamping tool. I'm just showing you that you can do it with one ink. That's the whole purpose of today's video. So I'm going to make sure that I got everything inked up is pretty. Then I'm going to go in with the same ink and add some more ink over the stamped image, over the stamp rather, not the stamped image. And then I'll press it in. And basically I'm creating a deeper version of that same color. So I am giving my stamped image dimension without having to go in and color it in, right? And because I didn't move my paper and because I didn't move my stamp, it's going to be perfect every time. Go in 3 times, go in 4 times, go in 17 times. It doesn't matter. But what's cool, that is a rag from the garbage, by the way, is you get these really deep intentional places of dimension just from where you put the ink, which I love. I love. Now I just ran that under the sink and cleaned that sucker right off. Because it's water reactive ink, it comes right off. So here's some of the backgrounds we made. Let's take a look at the beginning here. Remember, that was with our ink smushing and ink blending and adding water type situation. Then look how beautiful that is. We made color cardstock and some designs just with the ink pad. Here is the one where we added some dimension just by stamping over the same color and same area 2 to 3 times. And then here is our graffiti. Let's just call it graffiti that we made with a paintbrush. Okay, and there's that one where I just did all the smushing at the end, which is so pretty. It's so pretty, isn't it? I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, so I'm not going to get you sick. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, good. Now I bumped my camera. Awesome. Okay, so do you guys remember my magic mug? This is my magic mug. It's not a mug anymore. It's morphed into 3 different compartments, but I will link to the magic mug video in the description below if you don't know what I'm talking about. But we are going to dip into the magic mug to make 3 cards with some of the backgrounds we made right now. So this one I love. I love it. It was effortless, just stamping 2 to 3 times in certain areas. And now I'm going to go in, and I ended up organizing my sentiments in the magic mug in little baggies, and then wrote on the little baggies as your snack baggies what they are. So that's my thank you sentiment. And that's perfect. Thank you very much. But it needed a little something. So I'm going to take a piece of that cardstock that I trimmed down. I trimmed it down to 1/4 inch on each side. And I'm just going to take that garbage and I'm going to grab another color ink and I'm just going to go ahead and swing that up. Now I have already cleaned my hands, so I'm trying to be so careful. I don't want to get ink on my hands anymore. So I'm going to do it again. And this time I'm just going to grab what can I grab? Okay, I'm going to grab the lid of another ink pad just to hold that in place. Or maybe that was the ink pad itself. Anything to keep my hands from getting inky again because I just cleaned them. And then I'll go ahead and glue that down, and that will actually act as a border for the sentiment I'm going to put on there. So I'm using some Barely Art glue. I noticed that is the original one that I had. I got that in New York, so we're talking 9 years ago or something like that. It's running out of ink, which is why I have to refill. I just didn't feel like walking 4 steps to get it. I saw another piece of another glue here on the table that I'm going to use that going forward, but that is the only reason why I didn't carry on with my Barely Art ink is because our glue, because I need to refill it. So I'm going to use this zip dry stuff. Tanya from Riley and Company swears by this, so she sent me some, and here it is. And yeah, I really like it for panels. That's amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Now we've got our first card done. Card number 1 with a beautiful background and a sentiment and just a little strip to kind of give that sentiment something to sit on. This is the one I smushed all together at the end. Just smush, 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 smush. I found this die cut in my magic mug. I have no idea what it's from, where it came from. It's probably been in there for years. That's why I'm all about use what you have, people. You don't always need the latest and the greatest to make pretty things. So I'm going through my thank you bag and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that. I miss your face. I'm going to use that in a minute. So I'm going to put, or thank you, my friend. So I'm going to put that off to the side. But for now, that hello fits perfectly inside that circle. Well, you look at that. That's amazing. So I'll trim this down a little bit. I think I'm taking like 1/8 of an inch off. No big deal. Might be 1/4 inch. I don't know. And then I'll put this down onto a gray. I have all my card panels pre-cut and scored sitting in a box somewhere. So I just go and grab colors that I think would look nice. And then this time I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave a border around the bottom and the left side, kind of like a backwards L. And I think that's pretty. Boom. Boom, chicka, boom, boom. That one's done. Bada bang, bada boom. It's been a long time since I've said that. And then last, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with this thank you? Those two are too busy for me, too busy for words. I'll show you what I'll do with that in a minute. But I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Decisions. This is how my brain works. This is how my brain works. And I'm going with the lightest washed one. Can you believe that? Because the black and the white look really good against that purple washed in the background. And that is what I did. That's what I'm talking about. Now you can go do sequins and enamel dots and all other kinds of things if you want to really jazz it up. I'm just a very minimalistic card designer, so I usually keep it very simple, but you can take these and run with it till your heart's desired. Just run with it, baby. And you're good to go. I got to trim this down. I got too much of the base hanging off, so I'll trim this down off camera. But what to do with these? I found these dies in my, I don't know where these are. I don't know where they came from, but I'm going to run them through my die cutting machine. And I'm going to see what happens. So by magic, I ran it through my die cutting machine off camera. And then I'm left with this. So I've got, that's the negative. I'm sitting here looking at that like, what is that? That was the negative space of the cityscape. So, you know, I'll figure out where this die came from and pull it up to see how it's supposed to be used. But I'm going to use the buildings and then this little guy. And I think it's cool. Right? Am I going to use it right now? No, but I am going to put it in my magic mug and then I'll use it for a later date. So I've got some cool buildings that I can use. I've got this cool little graphic focal point I can use next time when I'm ready. So here I am just figuring out how the buildings are meant to go. And then I think there's like maybe like some water and some mountains, and then you got your seascape type thing. But anyway, that's all going in my magic mug for a later date because it really makes pulling cards together, as you can see, very, very quickly. So here are the cards that we made in the video today. I think they're fabulous and fun using inks and then just stuff I had in my magic mug. So I wanted to show you, look at all these backgrounds you can make with just inks, right? You don't need to go out and get the latest and greatest. I want you to use what you have. I don't even link to these supplies in the description anymore because I want to encourage you to use what you already have. That is my goal for you. That is my goal for this entire series. February is all about inks. I actually have the whole year planned out, but you have to stay with me to find out what March and April and May is all going to be about. So woohoo! I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you make anything from the video. Talk to me in the comments. I want to see it. I want to see it all. I read every comment, and I will see you next time.